Hello everyone, Hezu here. Welcome to my first Fix-It review. I will be addressing my thoughts on Frozen, well, Frozen 2, and how they can fix any issues I've found. Frozen is an oversaturated and overrated franchise that's gotten a little out of hand in terms of advertising. I'm sure everyone is sick of it by now. I still find Frozen quite beautiful, but I've started noticing big issues with the story. Frozen's main issue is continuity errors. In the first film, Kristoff told Anna that she can't marry someone she just met, according to the love experts.
Hang on. You mean to tell me you got engaged to someone you just met that day?
Said love experts then proceed to marry Kristoff off to someone he just met.
Wait, what?
You're getting married.
Okay.
In Frozen Fever, Elsa flower presses pink flowers onto her dress, but straight up conjures sunflowers onto Anna's. She has ice powers, not flower powers. In Olaf's Frozen Adventure, Elsa and Anna claim that Olaf was the sole thing that kept a line of communication and friendship for them when their parents had died.
You are the one who brought us together and kept us connected when we were apart. We had you to remind us of our childhood, how much we still loved each other.
Which is 100% false, because Anna and Elsa had an extremely awkward standing in terms of relationship that they conveyed because they hadn't spoken to each other in years. Not to mention Anna, when she meets Olaf, says,
Olaf? That's right, Olaf.
She had completely forgotten about him. If he was such an important sisterly tradition, Anna would have recognized him immediately. And then comes Frozen 2. Spoiler alert, may the weak of heart tread not on the lands ahead. The main plot delves into Elsa chasing a voice that's calling to her. Strange things happen to their town that drives the citizens away, forcing Elsa on a journey to discover the root of these incidents. Anna, Elsa, and Kristoff, the three main figureheads of the kingdom, leave their people behind. Not a smart move. No soldiers or advisors accompany them. They just often leave, like the first movie. Okay, I guess. Kristoff could have stayed behind since this isn't about him, but whatever. They come across a forest shrouded in protective fog. It lets Elsa and co pass. Elsa and Anna come across a village and old Arendelle soldiers. They find out their parents were basically Romeo and Juliet. Elsa spends the rest of the journey traveling to the ice library, while Kristoff and Anna wait on land for a purpose to be given to them. Elsa is named Frost Spirit and stays in the forest, while Anna and Kristoff become the new king and queen of Arendelle. Sounds simple, right? Ha! Oh boy, do we have a lot to unpack. Point A. Anna's misplacement. Anna, like you'll hear me say about many characters in this movie, was just there. The magical destiny of this story surrounded Elsa and had almost nothing to do with Anna, yet the writers insisted she come along. This results in her near death multiple times throughout the movie.
You could have been killed. You can't just follow me into fire.
You don't want me to follow you into fire, then don't run into fire.
Excuse me, Anna. Did you not see Elsa rushing to prevent massive forest fires? Did you not see her protecting people? Did you not see her prevent this spirit from burning down the homes of their fellow clanspeople? Did you not see her befriend the little dude, preventing any further fires in the future, not to mention gain the alliance of the already skeptical clan of Northuldrons? Did you not see her being a badass? Not even winded with her powers. Oh, of course you didn't. You were coughing your lungs out on the ground like the liability you are. Later on, Elsa pulls a dick move, but a smart move nonetheless, by shoving her away on a kayak. Did you see how Elsa traveled to that island through treacherous waters, nearly drowning herself in the process? Anna would not have survived that journey. This destiny was not meant for her. When Anna and Olaf are shoved away into a cave, Elsa meanwhile uncovers the truth and ends up freezing herself somehow? Huh? So she sends a message to Anna because she dies, I guess? This was the only use Anna had in the story, and yet this conflict should have never been an issue. After Anna decides to destroy the dam, Elsa somehow magically unfreezes. Oh my, how convenient. Elsa describes herself as a bridge between humans and magic and exclaims that a bridge has two ends, meaning Anna is one and Elsa is the other. But this doesn't make any sense contextually because Elsa is both human and has powers. Meanwhile, Anna is just, well, Anna.
It began with two sisters, one born with magical powers, one born powerless, their love of snowmen, infinite.
Point B, Kristoff too is just there. Kristoff's only purpose in the movie is constant comic relief for a marriage proposal to Anna. At some point, he even has a 2000s version boy band music video that had more detail and pizzazz in it than the Let It Go song from the first movie, not to mention all the singing reindeer.
Wondering if you still care.
I was cringing in my seat. Meanwhile, all my friends insisted it was the best thing of all time, so perhaps I just have poor taste and will leave it at that. The other Klansman that was basically Kristoff 2.0 was extremely unnecessary. He too was just there. But Kristoff really didn't do much of anything. He sort of swooped in to save Anna at the last minute, but otherwise he spent most of the movie away from her, goofing off. Point C, Olaf is on drugs. I'm an adult who finds Olaf an extremely annoying character. He's supposed to be comic relief, but in Frozen 2, he was downright disturbing.
Do you ever worry about the notion that nothing is permanent?
He kept talking about death and growing up, and he sang about understanding everything when he's older. Trust me, guys, you won't understand shit when you're older. Frankly, if anything, we adults are even more confused. Olaf later initiated the I'm dead 3/4 of the way into the movie but gets brought back at the end like it was no big deal trope. Anna was cradling Olaf in her arms crying, and I was just sitting there like, finally he's dead. I know this dumbass is gonna come back, but I can at least get a break from him making his inappropriate comments the rest of the movie.
Bright side? Turtles can breathe through their butts?
I really don't understand why Olaf was so scary in this movie, or why he was obsessed with growing up. I think Olaf should have stayed dead. That way he won't hurt anyone in the future.
Hey, what do you think the odds are that he turns out to be a deranged murderer and tries to kill you like the last guy she almost married did?
Point D, wasted clan, wasted soldiers. The Arendelian soldiers, having been trapped in this forest with their enemy the past 2 decades, have not set up their own base, have not even changed clothes, nor truly sat down and talked with the clan about what happened between them. They were just there. One of the clan's women brings up the fact that there was always said to be a 5th spirit, which is later revealed to be Elsa, who wasn't even born yet. So, who predicted this? Was there a 5th spirit before Elsa and it possessed her? Is this why her powers take on a mind of their own at times? This brings up more questions than answers. Gee, if only we had spent more time with these people to understand their upbringing, tales, and culture, Disney. Matthias was an interesting character, but really had no arc behind him. In a deleted storyboard, he's the one that rescues not only the prince, but also Iduna, and places them on the cart to get them away from the battle. This was heroic, but deleted for the sake of memory nonsense and rush plot twist secrecy no one really cared about. He was also going to have a song, and was originally the only soldier of Arendelle left alive in the forest. All of this obviously got changed, and so again, he became a character that was just there. But you could feel there was supposed to be more to him, and I wish there was. Diving into this Arendelle versus Northuldren conflict, the clan lived in a forest controlled by spirits. They have no powers of their own. The clan, who had no powers of their own, insisted on an alliance with Arendelle, and so Elsa's grandfather built a dam to strengthen the water of the people who had no powers of their own. But then the movie pulls the biggest what the fuck conflict I have ever seen.
The Northuldra follow magic, which means we can never trust them.
Grandfather?
Magic makes people feel too powerful, too entitled. It makes them think they can defy the will of a king.
What the fuck are you talking about, sir? The Northuldrens don't wield magic. They live within a magical forest with magical neighbors. They're just humans, dude. Said magical neighbors of which, by the way, don't want to leave the forest they were born in. When the two sides started battling, Agnar clearly states,
"They turn their magic against us all."
They're weak humans that live quite a ways away from Arendelle. They are in no way possible a threat to you. You can kill the Northuldrens, but you can't kill the spirits, you moron.
See, the dam will weaken their lands, so they will have to turn to me.
It will only weaken the land between the dam and Arendelle. They could just move upward to where the dam ends, so this will never be an issue. Or the spirits of the forest they live with, who have a mind of their own but are very willing to work with them, can destroy the dam themselves if they don't like it. You literally have a water spirit that can defy the dam at will. Build a new stream around the dam to provide water to the lands below. This again is not a viable problem. If anything, you doomed yourself and your entire kingdom. You put a weapon into the hands of your enemies. The movie showed that if the dam is destroyed, it would completely drown Arendelle. This complete moron not only got himself killed, but left the Northuldrens alone with a weapon to destroy his kingdom and people for over 20 years. Again, now that the king was gone, the Northuldrens could have asked the spirits to destroy the dam, but they didn't. Why not? You knew the forest was weakening because of the dam, didn't you? Hell, the Northuldrens didn't even need to ask the spirits. The spirits themselves should have known that the forest, the place they resided in, was dying. They should have known it was the dam. Like, are you serious? They could destroy that thing whenever the hell they wanted to, but they didn't. Well, then again, I gotta say, for a weakening forest, that place looks as lush and thriving as it ever did, so this writing is just all over the place. Point E. Rushed Romeo and Juliet. King Renard is dead. Agnar would be an orphan waiting to be crowned like Elsa was. But picture this. Iduna. A lone young girl saves the son of the kingdom that just attacked her people. She calls upon the spirits for help and escapes the forest, bringing Agnar back to the people. In the beginning, we see no interaction between these two, but it's hinted they knew each other for a time later on in the movie, but for only like 3 seconds. FYI, there was a deleted test scene between the two of them that showed more believable interaction in a minute than we got the entire movie. Which is unfortunate, because these two would have been cute together. Scrap all of Kristoff's marry me scenes and replace it with these two. Bam. Movie saved. Okay, but when Iduna calls upon the spirits, they wipe his memory of just Iduna. Why? Why did the spirits force him to forget her and only her? What the hell? They're strangers now. Who took her in then? Did Agnar just say, hey, come on into my castle, stranger. I need a friend's shoulder to cry on now that my dad's dead. Huh? I mean, I know he's a kid, but taking in a suspicious orphan girl who his town has never seen before is pretty risky. Looks like Anna's brash need to marry was inherited by her dad. I don't know why Iduna never told him that she's the one who saved him off the bat. She didn't tell him until they were married and had kids. What? Would he turn on her? Blame her clan for killing his dad and kick her out? Why is this even an issue? Neither of them knew who started the fight, and neither held any ill will towards each other in the final movie, unlike the concept of Northuldran culture being banned in the storyboards. So what the heck was the point? Also, can I mention here I'm shocked Iduna wasn't a copy pasta of Elsa's child model. They did that for her adult model. Frankly, she looks more like Moana than she does Elsa. Just something worth noting. Point F. Useless spirits. The known spirits in the forest are as follows. Gale the wind spirit. He's just wind and leaves and likes to play. The rehashed Pascal lizard that likes to set things on fire. Hive-minded brainless rock monsters from Galaxy Quest. And a rude horse water spirit. Why? They add almost nothing to this story, especially the fire spirit. Also, can we talk about the fact that there are two water spirits? Elsa is a water spirit that can control temperature, ice, and melting through love. Hell, she even manipulated actual water on the boat when she found out how her parents died. Elsa's element is placed in the middle like she's the avatar, wielder of all, but she can't. She can only use water. She's only treated like a special spirit because she's human. Let's talk about the two other supposed spirits that are never delved upon. Ahtohallan and the Mist. The Mist is only lifted for Elsa, and when the dam is destroyed, Gale and Nock are the only two that could control this mist. But the mist lies on the border, which is far from their domains. None of the spirits in the forest did anything about the dam themselves, but when the humans destroy it, suddenly the fog lifts? Ahtohallan is a library of ice. It collects history of all the world in a single place. But it only ever calls out to Elsa, who, interestingly, has the same power of ice that Ahtohallan holds. But who built this library? And how it came to be or why it seems to have a mind of its own is not known. Elsa's freezing after finding out her grandfather is a traitorous murderer seems wrong, because the cold never bothered her anyway, right? She can control temperature. Why all of a sudden are her powers not working? Again, I say it's of mere convenience for the sake of Anna being involved and nothing else. Ahtohallan's existence, along with what it stored and revealed to Elsa, really only brought up more questions than answers. Wait a moment now. We have one more potential spirit to look over. The reindeer spirit. In a deleted storyboard for Frozen 2, a reindeer-like shapeshifter shows up multiple times throughout the fight between Arendelle and Northuldra. He was meant to save Iduna at some point and even fight Elsa's grandfather. It's not clear whether this human-like creature is a spirit or just an elusive member of the Northuldran tribe. If he was a spirit, Elsa would no longer be the only human wielding power. I find this character's existence extremely important, however. In many passages and stories, deer-like creatures are often described as the kings of the forest, like the spirit from Princess Mononoke. Considering Northuldran's main livestock being that of reindeer, to see a hooded figure parading around like one draws a lot of suspicious and wondrous attention from the audience. To have a fifth native spirit with communicative capabilities unlike that of its brethren Seems like it'd be integral to Elsa finding out more about herself. But alas, the sacred deer cryptid was scrapped. We shall never forget thee, ye elusive being. Point G, the fifth element. This movie sets up an Avatar-esque fifth element scheme here. Water, fire, earth, air, and water again. It felt, how do I say this, unorganized and boring. The spirits were chaotic, lazy, really no brains, just wanted to play with humans, really. It's Frozen 2, so I'm giving it 2 stars. So, how do we fix this, fellas? It's pretty simple, actually. None of this elemental stuff. Nope, toss it out. It's cliche. Consider, however, replacing it with a different cliche of seasonal elemental spirits. Replace water, fire, earth, and air with spring, summer, winter, and autumn. Elsa is the winter spirit unbeknownst to her. Spring, summer, and autumn are scattered across the globe. The autumn spirit potentially resides in Northuldra, who blocked off the tribe's forest to protect them from outsiders after a territory dispute that ended in war with Arendelle, so it could be paralleled to the movie. Ahtohallan is still a place of interest, something that calls out to not only Elsa but also the other spirits, but they don't know where it's coming from or why it's calling out to them. Perhaps Elsa's blizzard situation from the first movie messed with the world's climate on a global scale that needs fixing? Yo, Disney, why don't you bring in a little global warming advice, huh? It's basically setting up a story for the third movie, leaving fans excited for more. Because it's just too much to shove all 4 seasonal beings into one movie. Rapunzel's TV show series delved into sun and moon dynamics, so what's so wrong about making Frozen into a seasonal dynamic? The elemental spirits could still exist, and perhaps even others alongside these seasonal spirits. But they might distract from the main story, so I feel it best to leave them out. This being said, perhaps we could fuse the elemental spirits established in canon with my seasonal spirit idea? Perhaps Elsa could transform into a centaur or a horse to run free with her power, much like the others. The wind spirit could be a bird, the rocks could be a bull, you get the picture. Another big issue with the Frozen series is Anna's involvement. As relayed before, she's impressionable, magically inert, and frankly just a liability for Elsa. Which is wrong, because Frozen is supposed to be about sisterhood, love, and family. So, give Anna some magic. I'm not asking for her to become a spring spirit here or anything. She's supposed to represent love. Maybe she could be a neutralizer? A balancer of sorts? She could melt Elsa's ice. She could cool down the summer's angry fire, etc. And at that point, considering Elsa and Anna are discovering the world, Arendelle will need new royalty. The kingdom is holding them down at that point. Anna loves Arendelle, but she's the furthest thing from a true queen. She's childish and very distracted with her sister's well-being. Locking her away in the castle while Elsa goes off to play simply wouldn't be fair. So, hey, why don't you put this cutie Matthias into the position? You know, give him more importance in the story. He was a soldier and was originally intended to save Iduna and Agnar, along with the fact that he fought by the king's side and even helped destroy the dam with Anna. Make him king. He's perfect for it.
General Matthias?
Your Majesty, I'll be right back. You can look at our photograph while I'm gone. I'm just kidding. How am I doing?
Fantastic.
If you look into the concept art for this film, there was a lot more planned. Frankly, they should have stuck to some of the concepts, like the scary opening scene of Iduna's people being slaughtered, the deer spirit potentially destroying Arendelle's castle, Kristoff's arc being promoted to a lord instead of the weird marriage thing. That's another thing about Frozen. The concepted story and designs always seem to appeal better than the final product. I'm gonna blame Disney's censorship team on this one, for denying us all that could have been. But considering all this, it's a no-brainer why Frozen 2 became as messy as it did. I don't know. I'm not a huge Frozen fan, so I don't know what the writers truly intend for it past this point, but that's at least the direction I would have taken it. I went kind of rage mode after seeing the inconsistencies in the writing after the movie, so apologies to my friends who had to endure that. I'm passionate, okay? Disney is a monopoly that makes $1 billion and gets glowing reviews simply because their brand is slapped onto a movie. I just don't find it fair, especially when plots like these are as sloppy as middle school mac and cheese. That being said, Disney, hire me so I can fix your movies, please. Anyhow, that's how I feel about Frozen 2. What'd you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, you know what to do, and have a great day! Are you someone out there who's a little bit like me, who knows deep down I'm not where I'm meant to be? Like in bed because it's fucking 10 p.m.